Electric Bet David, one of the most popular podcasters in the world, talks about replacing SWIFT all the time. Also, could that be XRP and Ripple? This is the whole video. Let's play. Let's talk about it. I also have a lot of news about Ripple and XRP. Today there was big news from both the EU and the Middle East. But let's begin here. I'm not going to lie. That's why I'm sure crypto has a bright future. I can see how it could be useful. It will be interesting to see what comes after SWIFT, which is a very old way to send money from one country to another or from one person to another. That needs to be changed. One thing that makes me a little creeped out about Bitcoin is that we've never seen the person who made it, and the name of the creator means central intelligence in English. Central information is what Satoshi Nakamoto means. That's a little strange. That, or I might just be being nervous. But I think the fact that BlackRock and everyone else is using it shows that it might be real. I think that central banks will start to save money, which means it will be the same as cash when that happens. But I wonder what will win in terms of, say, what is used for the world's payment system. So the best technology might not be any of those things. It might not even be a payment system. It might just be something to hold on to. To be clear, you can't just leave that gold bar in one area and go get a coffee. There's a chance that each business, country and business will need its own Bitcoin bank. That's the hope of Bitcoin and Bitcoin maximalists. This is why they're spending a lot of money on lobbyists in Congress and the Senate and other people, as well as talking points on all the big shows to get people to believe that Bitcoin is the answer. We all know that Bitcoin isn't really used for foreign payments, and banks aren't lining up to use it for those kinds of transactions, either in the US or abroad. For people who believe in it, Bitcoin is a good way to save money right now. That is why Bitcoin will do well as long as people believe in it. When we only talk about Bitcoin's uses, however, all we have to offer is a way to store value. We need to put it somewhere in their bank account. That's a huge amount of money to spend, and every company that isn't starting an AI program right now is way behind schedule. You'll be left behind. I do believe that we should use an object that can grow faster than gold to set a gold standard. In order to limit our money supply in some way, I can see why we should move away from the gold standard. I believe that Bitcoin or something similar could help accomplish this goal. Yes. Next, the question is whether you think SWIFT will be replaced in the long run. It needs to. What do you think? That's why I do. There are many changes going on. Well, you just did, and now modern methods are taking their place. I mean, look, I think it's been 2 years since LIBOR was replaced by SOFR. So a lot of things are changing on their own in the financial services business. And SWIFT was one way to get around. Different ways to send money will be possible thanks to blockchain and other tools you can use together. Look at what I mean right now. It's really cool. A CH is newer than wire, right? But wire is still faster. Things of today can get in the way sometimes. That is a great point. That is a great point. A CH is not as old as wire, but wire is faster. That means you're giving it 10 warnings. The other bank will get it when you click here. Make sure it's a bank. Hey guys, have you heard of Ripple, XRP, or SWIFT? Think about what they could do. You could see how much money has been put into Ripple in the past few days. It was also a record for them, XRP. What do you think about that? Yes, I agree that SWIFT is a very old system, and it's funny how it works like a message system. You tell the bank, hey, we're sending you over X amount of money, and they make the necessary changes. From what I hear, it doesn't actually send money. But from what I've seen about how fast Ripple or any of the other providers could do it, they could do it much faster and for a lot less money. And the hardest thing about getting rid of that system is that you can't send a lot of money right now to someone in another part of the world. You're not by yourself. A good number of people believe that many people are saying that. In Casa D'Angelo, you and I met with a man who works with a different coin that people are talking about last week. But that's the point of the talk. What will finally take its place? Also, just to make sure of what you said about the ETF Bitcoin today, Fidelity buys $112 million in Bitcoin at the same time that ETFs see $11.9 billion. Okay? A short version of this story is that banks are getting closer and closer to digital assets, but only digital assets that they have tried for a long time. That's your XRP, XLMS, bars, chain links, and so on. It's clear that the bigger names will get more attention, relationships, and money moving through those chains. I believe we are not recognizing how important this is going to be for Ripple and XRP. Keep in mind that Bitcoin is a bit of an escape, right? You should think about the system's usefulness, how it can be used, and how it settles money, okay? I keep watching this clip again and again, and this is Rosie Rios. The United States used to have her as its cashier. This is who Scott Percent is right now. She is the first one. Let's play. Crypto has been in the news a lot. Okay. Also, I'd like to let you know that I'm on the Ripple board. It's called XRP. So when people ask me why I joined the Ripple board, I tell them I became a board member of Ripple because XRP is useful. It's a feature that makes it easier to send money across borders. There is no source of value. It's just some value that isn't tied to anything. This is what real banks use to make payments across borders. So it's seconds and cents instead of days and bucks. This is what I see as the future. The people who work at Ripple are very skilled and are working very hard on this. That's the reason we picked XRP. We trust XRP. We won't say what the price will be, but we think this coin will be the most useful one out there. You should know that Bitcoin can be used to save money. The other person is right, but I believe that XRP has a real use case. There's no question about it. From the times we've talked to the Ripple team, they're very professional. Over there, they act like bankers. They'll get this done because they know how to do it. A lot of people in the US don't know that the technical foundation of the banking system is decades old, a very, very long time ago. You know that Paul and other people are making things right, but sending money and making payments costs a lot and can take days or even weeks to clear. This bill says that the whole old system can be brought into the 21st century by using the latest cryptography technology. That sounds like something we wouldn't have said. Okay, I just wrote a lot about this. I can give you a lot of background. There was a method called FedNow that the US worked on for many years. FedNow is a system run by the Federal Reserve Central Bank. Other banks connect to it, and the Federal Reserve takes care of the payment. The deal happens right away. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each payment is about 20. However, it is not a blockchain or crypto system. That makes you wonder what kind of technology Trump and his staff are going to look at when they say they're going to improve the system. Okay, you see, the US government or any government is never good at making their own tech. They go out into the world and work with businesses. That's the tech they start to use. So you really dig deep to find the largest blockchain infrastructure company in the US that has met with the president, the prime minister of the UK, and the governor of Canada. Okay? Mark Carney knows how XRP and Ripple work. He was at the Bank of England when the proof of concept was carried out.